Hi guys, I'm excited to be back with you today. I wanted to start by reading you a quote. I have some more questions, I'm still taking the questions and we're going to go to those in just a second. But first I wanted to read you this quote by Rudolf Steiner. If you're not familiar with Steiner, he began as a student of H.P. Blavatsky, the woman who gave theosophy to the world, which is very, very similar to magic in a lot of ways. But Rudolf Steiner broke off from them and went on to form his own school. And you can still find Steiner schools, Rudolf Steiner schools, all over the U.S. today if you're just curious and want to look them up. But this is a quote by him. Just as in the body, eye and ear develop as organs of perception, as senses of bodily processes, so does a man develop in himself soul and spiritual organs of perception, through which the soul and spiritual worlds are open to him. For those who do not have such higher senses, these worlds are dark and silent, just as the bodily world is dark and silent for a being without eyes or ears. What he's describing there, and remember I said that a lot of what they were doing is very, very similar to magic. This is what you're doing in the beginning when you are doing these exercises like the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram and the middle pillar. From the moment you begin doing it, you'll be moving energy, but you may not even be able to detect what you're doing. You may think it's all in your imagination or all in your head or that it's just visualization. You won't be able to perceive it until you have developed these senses, whatever they're called. I have never come across a name for them, but they are the equivalent of our eyes and our ears within our psyche and within our aura, our energy system. You have to wake your energy system up. When you're doing this, this is why I came across this guy one time that used to go stay in haunted houses. He would seek out the most famous haunted houses he could find, even if it was like just a brutal, violent incident that was supposed to have made them haunted. He didn't care. He would go stay in them anyway, just because he was desperate to feel something, to see something, to hear something, to experience something outside of the material world. He wanted to know, is there something outside of this? Is there something else? And he said that he had never, ever seen or experienced anything in all of these places that led him to believe that there was anything to reality or anything to life outside of the physical world. That doesn't mean the places that he was staying, there wasn't necessarily anything there. What it means is that he had not developed within himself the sensory organs to perceive such things. There could have very well been things happening all around him. Maybe not, but there could have. And he wouldn't have been able to detect them because he had not developed these sensory organs on the energetic level of reality. This is why a daily practice is so important. Why you don't just rely on magic as something that you resort to in a difficult time. But this goes into another question that someone asked or someone commented on about meridians burning out. What that's referring to is how, just as in our physical body we have veins and arteries that carry blood to and from the heart, in our energetic or etheric body we also have meridians that function in the same way. They carry energy, they carry chi to different parts of the body. When I first started doing magic, I would go into phases where I could see so clearly and vibrantly and vividly exactly what I was invoking. When I drew the pentagrams, I could see them so brightly. I could see the line around the room. I could see the angels I was calling before me, and it just felt so amazing being able to perceive that. And it would just get brighter and brighter and more vivid for several days. And then one day, just like that, it was gone. I wouldn't be able to detect anything. and I would think, what the hell happened? Where did everything go? It would make me frantic. And I would redouble my efforts. I would start going through the invoking processes, even more like straining and struggling, just putting everything I had into doing it, and would make no progress whatsoever. I was talking to a friend of mine who does a lot of energy work about it one time years ago, and what she said was, you're burning out your meridians, because I was building up doing more and more and more magic. I would go from 30 minutes to an hour and a half to 2 hours, and this is like in the first year or so that I was really doing it that way. She said, whenever you're basically channeling more and more and more energy, and you're burning out your ability to perceive it. She said, if you give it about 2 to 3 days, wait 2 to 3 days and try it again and see what happens. When I started doing that, it worked. Like, if I did experience that everything going dark, if I would wait 3 days max and start the process again, everything would be even more vivid and bright than before, because you're also almost like building a muscle whenever you're doing this. You're making those senses and your ability to do work with energy even greater. So I'm going to stop for now. One more thing. I talked to the people that are running the retreat in Joshua Tree yesterday, and they are going to live stream it for people who want to watch it, but that can't come to California. This will be the first time they've done it. I believe it'll be the first time I've done it, I know, but they will be live streaming it for anyone who can't make it. Okay, I hope you guys are well, that you're having a good day, and I will talk to you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.